Have you ever felt truly invisible? Not just overlooked in a crowd, but utterly, profoundly unseen, as though the world has simply moved on without you. It's a sensation that gnaws at the edges of the soul, a quiet ache that resonates in the vast, empty spaces of a life once vibrant with connection. Imagine a life that, for decades, was rich with the hum of community, the shared rhythm of labor, and the easy camaraderie of neighbors. Now picture that same life stripped bare, reduced to the solitary vigil of a retired rancher named Frank Mitchell, whose sprawling land on the plains became less a sanctuary and more a silent monument to what was lost. His neighbors, once an integral part of his daily tapestry, had long since departed, leaving behind only the echoing quiet of their absence. Each sunrise and sunset, Frank would watch the horizon, not for the promise of a new day's work, but for the faintest ripple. In the stillness, a sign that perhaps, just perhaps, he hadn't been entirely forgotten. This isn't just about a man living alone. It's about the pervasive, often unspoken epidemic of modern loneliness, a condition that transcends age, geography, and socioeconomic status. It's about the human yearning for connection, a fundamental need as vital as sustenance or shelter, that, when unmet, can cast a long cold shadow over even the most robust spirit. Frank's days were a testament to this profound isolation, a routine punctuated only by the wind whispering through the dry grasses and the distant, indifferent hum of the world moving on without him. He was a man adrift in a sea of solitude, his resilience slowly eroding under the weight of his own forgotten existence. But what if, in the very heart of this profound isolation, something truly extraordinary were to occur? What if the universe, in its infinite and often unpredictable wisdom, decided to intervene in the most unexpected, almost fantastical way? This is where our exploration truly begins, not just as a story of one man's solitude, but as a deeper dive into the inexplicable power of a single, unexpected act of kindness to shatter the walls of isolation and rekindle the flame of human connection. It's a narrative that challenges our assumptions about who delivers such gestures and the profound ripple effects they can unleash. We often perceive kindness as a small, intimate act, a quiet whisper between individuals. Yet what if it arrives with the force of a thunderclap, from a source so improbable it defies belief? Frank, in his quiet vigil, had no inkling that the very fabric of his secluded existence was about to be rent open, not by a familiar face or a long-lost friend, but by an emblem of the future, driven by a figure synonymous with the cutting edge of human endeavor. His world, once defined by its stark emptiness, was on the precipice of an astonishing transformation, reminding us that even when the silence feels absolute, the potential for seismic shifts in our personal landscapes remains, often just beyond the horizon of our current understanding. This journey will peel back the layers of what it means to be seen, to be remembered, and to be offered a beacon of hope when the darkness seems most encompassing, setting the stage for a profound reevaluation of connection in an increasingly disconnected world. The human condition, throughout history, has oscillated between the primal need for belonging and the stark reality of solitude. From the earliest tribal communities, where survival itself depended on collective effort and mutual support, to the sprawling metropolises of today, where millions can coexist yet feel utterly alone, the landscape of human connection has constantly shifted. In ancient societies, isolation was often a death sentence, a banishment from the protective warmth of the group. Today, while physical survival is rarely at stake, the psychological and emotional tolls of loneliness are increasingly recognized as a public health crisis. The very structures of modern life, ironically, often contribute to this disconnect. Urbanization has led to smaller, more transient family units, and the decline of traditional community hubs like local churches or social clubs has eroded the informal networks that once provided a safety net of connection. The digital age, while ostensibly connecting us globally, often fosters superficial interactions over deep, meaningful relationships. We are constantly connected, but rarely truly present with one another. This societal shift creates conditions where individuals like Frank, who might once have been surrounded by a bustling community, find themselves isolated not by choice, but by the evolving nature of social fabric. His ranch, once a hub of activity, became a symbol of this broader societal trend, a stark reminder of how quickly the world can leave individuals behind, even those who once thrived at its very heart. This isn't a unique phenomenon to rural areas. It plays out in countless apartments in crowded cities, in quiet suburban homes, and within the very digital spaces designed to bring us closer. The origins of Frank's profound loneliness, therefore, are not merely personal, but are deeply rooted in the broader historical and sociological currents that have reshaped human interaction over the last century. We have in many ways traded the deep, often inconvenient bonds of proximity for the fleeting convenience of digital reach, leaving many to navigate a world that feels increasingly hollow. The very notion of an unexpected intervention, then, becomes not just a personal miracle, but a poignant commentary on the societal gaps that such an act seeks to bridge, highlighting the desperate need for spontaneous, genuine human outreach. In an age of manufactured connections, at its core, the human brain is wired for connection. Neuroscientific studies reveal that social interaction triggers the release of oxytocin, often called the love hormone, which fosters feelings of trust, empathy, and bonding. Conversely, chronic loneliness activates the body's stress response system, leading to elevated cortisol levels, inflammation, and an increased risk of heart disease, cognitive decline, and even premature death. It's not merely a feeling. It's a physiological state with tangible health consequences. The concept of social pain has been shown to activate the same brain regions as physical pain, underscoring just how deeply our need for belonging is embedded within our biological makeup. This fundamental drive for connection explains why an act of unexpected kindness can be so profoundly transformative. It's not just about the tangible gift, but about the powerful message it conveys. You are seen. You are valued. You are not alone. This message, delivered in a moment of profound vulnerability, can literally alter brain chemistry, shifting an individual from a state of chronic stress and despair to one of hope and renewed engagement. Consider the psychological phenomenon of reciprocity, where a kind act often compels the recipient to pay it forward, creating a ripple effect of generosity. This isn't just a social norm. It's an evolutionary advantage, fostering cooperation and strengthening community bonds. The story of Frank and his unexpected visitor taps into these deep-seated psychological mechanisms. It's a powerful illustration of how a single gesture, precisely because of its unexpected nature and its source, can cut through years of accumulated isolation. The act isn't just about a vehicle. It's a symbolic re-engagement with the world, a tangible representation of care that validates the individual's existence. It breaks the cycle of invisibility, providing a powerful external stimulus that can ignite internal change. This is the essence of true impact, not just addressing a material need, but profoundly altering one's perception of self and place in the world. The facts underscore that such an intervention is not merely a feel-good story, but a potent catalyst for psychological and physiological renewal, demonstrating the immense power of human empathy to heal and transform. The implications of such an encounter ripple far beyond the individual, touching upon broader societal currents and cultural narratives. In a world increasingly defined by digital interaction and often superficial connections, the story of Frank and his unexpected benefactor serves as a potent reminder of the enduring power of tangible, personal outreach. It challenges the prevailing notion that meaningful connection can only be found within established social circles or through curated online personas. Instead, it highlights how true empathy can emerge from the most unlikely of places, transcending conventional boundaries of status, geography, and familiarity. This narrative resonates deeply in a society grappling with rising rates of loneliness, particularly among the elderly, but also across all demographics. It implicitly asks us to reconsider our collective responsibility towards those who might be isolated, whether in remote rural areas or amidst the anonymity of urban centers. Furthermore, the involvement of a public figure, known for disruptive innovation and grand visions, introduces a fascinating layer of societal commentary. It prompts us to reflect on the role of influence and wealth in addressing fundamental human needs. Could acts of unexpected, large-scale kindness become a new paradigm for philanthropy, moving beyond traditional charitable donations to direct personal interventions that make a profound, immediate difference in individual lives? This scenario encourages a dialogue about the potential for individuals with significant resources to leverage their platforms, not just for technological advancement or economic gain, but for genuine humanistic impact. It underscores the idea that sometimes the most profound solutions to complex societal issues like isolation don't come from policy papers or government programs, but from a single bold act of compassion that inspires awe and rekindles hope. It forces us to confront the hidden truths of our interconnectedness, even when we feel most alone, and to recognize that the fabric of society is strengthened not just by grand schemes, but by the unexpected threads of kindness woven into its very core. The story becomes a powerful cultural touchstone, a modern fable illustrating that even in an era of unprecedented technological advancement, the most fundamental human needs remain constant, and their fulfillment often hinges on the simplest yet most powerful gestures of care. However, such grand gestures of kindness, particularly when involving public figures, are not without their complexities and potential for misinterpretation. A common myth surrounding acts of significant generosity is that they are inherently performative, driven by a desire for publicity rather than genuine altruism. This cynicism, while understandable in an era of curated public images, often overlooks the profound personal motivations that can drive even the most visible acts of benevolence. It challenges us to look beyond the surface and consider the genuine impact on the recipient, rather than merely dissecting the motives of the giver. Another challenge lies in scaling such acts. While a single transformative gesture can profoundly impact one individual, the pervasive nature of loneliness suggests that systemic solutions are also necessary. Can such a unique event truly serve as a model, or is it an exceptional anomaly? Furthermore, there's the misconception that loneliness is solely an issue for the elderly or those without family. In reality, it affects people of all ages and backgrounds, often hidden behind facades of busyness or social media engagement. Addressing this requires a nuanced understanding that goes beyond simple acts of charity. There's also the debate about the role of technology in fostering or hindering connection. While a futuristic vehicle like the Cybertruck symbolizes technological advancement, the core of the story remains a deeply human interaction, underscoring that technology, while a powerful tool, cannot replace genuine human empathy and presence. This challenges the myth that digital platforms alone can solve the crisis of connection. The controversial aspect might arise from the very unexpectedness of the act. Why this person? Why now, and why in such a dramatic fashion? These questions, while valid, often distract from the central, undeniable truth of the story, that a life was profoundly changed for the better. It forces us to confront our own biases about who deserves kindness and how it should be delivered, offering a balanced view that acknowledges both the spectacle and the profound human impact, ultimately reinforcing that the power of connection transcends conventional wisdom and often defies easy categorization or explanation. Ultimately, the story of Frank Mitchell and the unexpected arrival serves as a profound testament to the enduring power of human connection and the transformative potential of a single, unexpected act of kindness. It reminds us that even in the most isolated corners of the world, and within the deepest recesses of personal solitude, the possibility for profound change always exists. Loneliness, in its myriad forms, is a universal human experience, but so too is the capacity for empathy and the innate desire to reach out. This narrative peels back the layers of our often busy, distracted lives to reveal a fundamental truth. Being seen, being acknowledged, and being offered a hand of genuine care can fundamentally alter a person's trajectory. It's a powerful illustration that the greatest gifts are not always material. Sometimes they are the profound recognition of another's humanity, delivered precisely when it is needed most. The encounter with the unexpected visitor is more than just a heartwarming tale. It's a modern parable for our times, urging us to look beyond the obvious, to challenge our assumptions about who needs help and who is capable of providing it. It underscores that the most impactful moments often arrive unannounced, shattering our preconceived notions and opening pathways to renewal we never imagined possible. It leaves us with a lingering question. In a world that often feels increasingly disconnected, what small, unexpected act of kindness might we be capable of initiating today that could ripple outwards, transforming not just one life, but perhaps, in its quiet echo, inspiring countless others to rediscover the profound and irreplaceable value of human connection? For Frank, it was a vehicle. For us, it might be a word, a gesture, or simply the courage to truly see another person. The journey from isolation to renewal, as Frank discovered, often begins with the most surprising of turns, proving that even when you feel forgotten, the world still holds the capacity to surprise you with hope. Such an extraordinary intervention, while undeniably heartwarming, inevitably introduces a complex tapestry of challenges and potential controversies that warrant careful consideration. One might initially perceive the gesture as universally positive, yet a closer examination reveals a nuanced landscape, particularly from the recipient's vantage point. Consider the sheer impracticality of a high-tech, futuristic vehicle like a Cybertruck for a retired rancher living in splendid isolation. Beyond the immediate awe, Frank would suddenly confront a cascade of logistical hurdles, specialized maintenance, exorbitant insurance premiums, and the steep learning curve associated. With cutting-edge technology far removed from his familiar world of tractors and dirt roads, what initially appears as an unparalleled gift could, paradoxically, become a source of new anxieties, a gleaming monument to an alien future that demands adaptation and resources he might not possess. This isn't merely about receiving a possession. It's about integrating a radical shift into a life accustomed to simplicity, potentially creating a new form of disconnect rather than fostering true integration. Moreover, the very public nature of such an act, involving a global icon, casts a powerful, often uncomfortable, spotlight on an individual who had yearned for connection, but perhaps not global notoriety. Frank's previously anonymous existence suddenly becomes a narrative consumed by millions, dissected and interpreted through countless lenses. The media, ever hungry for compelling human interest stories, would inevitably descend, transforming his private moment of vulnerability into a public spectacle. This sudden, intense scrutiny could easily overwhelm someone accustomed to quiet solitude, eroding the very peace he once sought. His story, once his own, risks being commodified, reduced to a feel-good soundbite or a branding opportunity for the benefactor. This raises ethical questions about the balance between genuine altruism and the unintended consequence of turning a personal narrative into public property, potentially stripping the individual of their agency in defining their own experience. The inherent power imbalance between a billionaire and a retired rancher amplifies these concerns, suggesting a benevolent paternalism that, while well-intentioned, could subtly undermine the recipient's sense of self-reliance. Furthermore, the narrative of a dramatic, singular intervention often perpetuates a harmful myth that deep-seated issues like chronic loneliness can be resolved by a single, spectacular act. While the Cybertruck undoubtedly symbolizes hope and a profound gesture of being seen, it doesn't automatically construct a sustainable support network, mend years of emotional isolation, or instill the daily habits of social engagement required for lasting connection. Loneliness is a multifaceted problem, often requiring ongoing community building, accessible social programs, and consistent, reciprocal human interaction. A grand gift, while a powerful catalyst, is not a magic bullet that instantly erases the complex psychological and social barriers that contribute to isolation. It offers a moment of profound uplift, yet the arduous work of rebuilding a connected life, finding new friendships, and re-engaging with the world remains a personal journey that no single gift, however magnificent, can complete on its own. A more critical examination also reveals the potential for societal cynicism to overshadow the genuine intent. When a public figure performs such an act, skeptics may immediately question the underlying motives, attributing the generosity to public relations strategies or image cultivation rather than pure altruism. This pervasive skepticism, while sometimes warranted in the broader media landscape, risks devaluing truly meaningful gestures and fosters a climate where genuine compassion struggles to be recognized for its intrinsic worth. It inadvertently teaches us to view all acts of kindness, especially those with a high profile, through a lens of suspicion, thereby diminishing their potential to inspire broader social good. Such an event, however impactful for Frank, concurrently challenges our collective ability to accept generosity at face value, forcing us to reconcile the purity of the act with the complexities of modern celebrity and public perception. The inherent tension between the personal nature of the gift and its public reception thus adds another intricate layer to this extraordinary narrative, prompting us to consider not just the act itself, but how it is perceived and processed by a world grappling with its own contradictions. Reflecting on this journey so far, we confront a compelling paradox anchoring the human experience. In our contemporary world, we've explored how the very fabric of evolving societies can inadvertently fray the threads of connection, leaving individuals adrift in silent anonymity. This deep-seated yearning for recognition and belonging, etched into our biological blueprint, is a fundamental imperative. When unmet, it casts a long shadow over well-being, both mental and physical. This primal need underscores why an unexpected overture, particularly one of extraordinary scale, can strike a chord so deep it reverberates through the core of a life long accustomed to quietude. Drawing these disparate threads together, a fascinating tension emerges that between the breathtaking potential of a singular, transformative act and the intricate, ongoing demands of genuine, sustained human engagement. We've contemplated how profound generosity, especially from figures of significant influence, can serve as a powerful catalyst, a sudden downpour in a parched landscape, offering immediate, life-affirming relief. Yet this brilliance also casts into sharp relief the complex practicalities and subtle societal undercurrents accompanying such grand gestures. The immediate, dazzling light of a dramatic intervention, while potent and breaking through entrenched isolation, simultaneously illuminates the broader, more enduring challenge of cultivating daily, reciprocal connections that nourish the human spirit. It compels us to consider not just the moment's impact, but the long path beyond, hinting at the sustained effort required to weave an individual back into community. As we pivot towards the final reflection, this interplay of the spectacular and the sustainable becomes increasingly central. The narrative trajectory thus far compels us to ponder the multifaceted nature of human care, moving beyond simplistic notions of charity to a nuanced understanding of what it truly means to be a beacon for another. We've acknowledged the inherent skepticism accompanying high-profile benevolence, yet simultaneously recognize the undeniable visceral impact it can have on a soul yearning to be seen. This confluence of observations invites us to look past the surface shimmer of any event and delve into the deeper currents of intention, reception, and the subsequent ripple effects defining its legacy. It's akin to a single perfectly struck note in a silent hall. Its immediate beauty undeniable, its lasting significance and inspiring an entire resonant symphony. This exploration has laid bare the intricate dance between individual vulnerability and collective responsibility, urging us to consider how societal structures, technological advancements, and personal choices all converge to shape the landscape of human connection. The story at hand serves as a potent reminder that while the world may accelerate and evolve, the fundamental human need for belonging remains constant, a timeless anchor in a sea of change. We are prompted to reflect on the often unseen struggles that persist amidst appearances, and the extraordinary power within even the most improbable acts of outreach to pierce through the veil of invisibility. It's a call to recognize that, while grand gestures capture headlines, the quiet, consistent acts of empathy are the foundation upon which resilient communities are built. In light of these insights, the path forward becomes clearer, albeit more complex than a simple solution. We are left to contemplate not just the extraordinary power of a single moment, but the profound human work that must follow to transform that moment into a sustained renewal. The challenge then lies not only in recognizing profound loneliness, but in cultivating the collective will and individual courage to bridge those vast silent expanses, whether through a grand, symbolic act or through the steady, unassuming presence of genuine care. This narrative ultimately redefines our understanding of what it means to truly connect, setting the stage for a concluding thought that transcends the immediate story, inviting deeper personal and communal introspection. The essence of this journey lies in the profound realization that while the world may sometimes feel vast and indifferent, the capacity for human compassion remains an inexhaustible wellspring, transforming even the most desolate landscapes of the soul. The poignant narrative of Frank Mitchell, a man adrift in a sea of his own solitude, ultimately distills into a profound meditation on the enduring and often overlooked human need for connection. His story, far from being a singular anomaly, resonates with a universal truth that the deepest ache in the human heart is often the feeling of being utterly invisible, of having one's existence fade into the background noise of a world that seems to have moved on. Frank's days, once vibrant with the rhythm of shared community, became a stark testament to the quiet erosion of spirit that accompanies prolonged isolation. This isn't merely about living alone. It's about the soul's yearning for recognition, for the validation that comes from knowing one is seen, remembered, and valued. Yet, into this profound quietude, a startling, almost fantastical intervention arrived, shattering the illusion of forgottenness. The appearance of a futuristic vehicle, driven by a figure synonymous with the cutting edge of human endeavor, was more than just a material gift. It was a potent symbol. It represented the shattering of a self-imposed or circumstantially enforced boundary, a dramatic declaration that even in the most remote corners, and for the most overlooked individuals, the world still holds the capacity for unexpected grace. The gleaming Cybertruck in this context transcended its technological marvel. It became a tangible beacon of hope, a physical manifestation of the idea that no one is truly beyond the reach of human compassion. It was a profound act of seeing that went beyond mere observation, extending to a deep recognition of another's silent struggle. This extraordinary gesture, delivered by a figure known for disrupting industries and pushing the boundaries of possibility, subtly reframes our understanding of innovation itself. It suggests that true progress isn't solely confined to technological leaps or economic triumphs, but can also manifest in the radical act of humanistic intervention, a bold disruption of the emotional status quo. In a world often characterized by its digital connections and transactional relationships, this narrative champions the unparalleled power of tangible, personal outreach. It challenges the prevailing cynicism that might dismiss such acts as mere spectacle, asserting instead that the profound life-altering impact on the recipient is the ultimate measure of its worth. The story becomes a powerful counter-narrative to the pervasive sense of disconnection, highlighting that the most meaningful solutions to our deepest human needs often emerge from the most improbable sources. However, the enduring power of Frank's story lies not just in the grand scale of the gesture, but in its ability to illuminate the profound vulnerability inherent in the human condition. It reminds us that beneath the surface of stoicism or self-sufficiency, there often lies a deep longing for belonging. While the dramatic arrival of the Cybertruck served as a powerful catalyst, breaking years of accumulated isolation, it also implicitly underscores the ongoing need for sustained human connection. A single act, however spectacular, is often the beginning, not the end, of a journey towards true re-engagement. It is a moment of profound validation, yet the work of rebuilding community, fostering new relationships, and integrating back into the fabric of shared experience remains a nuanced, continuous endeavor. Ultimately, Frank Mitchell's unexpected encounter is a resonant call to action, not necessarily for grand public gestures, but for the quiet, consistent practice of empathy in our daily lives. If one extraordinary act can so profoundly transform a life, imagine the cumulative impact of countless smaller acts of kindness, of everyday moments where we choose to truly see one another. It encourages us to look beyond the surface, to recognize the unseen struggles around us, and to extend a hand of genuine care, whether through a simple conversation, a shared moment, or a thoughtful gesture. The true practice begins now, in the quiet courage to bridge the distances between us, to transform the pervasive feeling of invisibility into the profound affirmation of being seen. This narrative leaves us with a lingering, vital question. How might we, in our own spheres, embody this spirit of unexpected kindness, and in doing so, weave a stronger, more compassionate tapestry of human connection, one thread, one genuine interaction at a time? For in the simple act of reaching out, we not only uplift another, but also rediscover the inherent richness and meaning of our shared humanity.